Give me those ugly black glasses.
Michael.
Yeah, you're so dumb. You can't see you, I can hear you.
All right, we're live. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thursday morning, continuing work on charters. We're discussing H 504, an act relating to the approval of amendments to the charter of the city of Rutland. And so this one is basically 4 different charter votes in one package. And so first up, we discussed this a little bit when we did our introduction and the original walkthrough, but we asked Kirby to come in and discuss one particular section that pertained to the taxes required for replacing equipment and a couple of other municipal levers. So if you could please join us, sir, and just shed a little bit more detail onto the words on the page.
Good morning, Kirby Keaton, Legislative Council. Would you like me to share the document?
If you'd like, feel free. Yep.
All right. Okay, so caveat out of the way. I don't know what I can bring to this that Tucker isn't better at.
Okay.
We'll see what we can do. So I take it that you would like to talk about in section 2, the changes to the Rutland Charter related to taxes. Is that correct?
Yeah. That was the primary focus just with you with that type of tax language, tax policy. And if it's redundant, I apologize for occupying your time, but we're just trying to make sure we understood the scope of it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you what I see here. So starting on line 5 on page 3, you have an increase. Actually, I'm going to back up. Looking at this, I'll tell you, and then sorry if I repeat anything that you've heard before, but Rutland City has a charter, of course, and Rutland and Burlington are kind of unique in that both of those charters have some ability to tax built into the charter that most other municipalities don't have. I think you're probably familiar with that. In the case here, and what we're looking at, there's some tax rates that are built into the grand list that are apparently automatic for Rutland, where, just like how regular municipal taxes are based off of, the real estate and in some cases other property within the municipality, and those are set and voted on with the budget yearly, but the ones that are built into the charter like this are more automatic. And so these would be relatively small tax rates on the grand list for Rutland that would occur every year for the specific purpose that's laid out in the charter. So unique situation. The provisions in the Rutland Charter for special tax rates are one's for fire equipment, one's for municipal employee pensions, one's for public works / police / recreation, one is for school repair, and one is for school purposes. And then this change would also add a new one, which would be a provision for police equipment. So returning to what we were looking at, line 5 here, there's an increase of 0.0225 cents on the dollar on the grand list for this one's for the fire equipment. So that's a slight increase from what's currently in the charter. Most of these changes, I think Tucker may have told you, is just correcting the way that the numbers are shown there for the sense to put them more in our convention. So we have the fire equipment change, and then the other one is the new rate for police equipment, which is 0.018. Not sure why there's an extra 0 on the end there, but maybe it's I don't know. It doesn't make it consistent to go out 4 places. I don't know what it's there for.
Okay. Fair observation.
Yeah. So Again, what you're looking at is in addition to the regular municipal taxes that would also be on the grand list. And just to give you some background, I mentioned it before, but there's other provisions in the Rutland Charter related to its ability to tax things. Rutland's a municipality that has a rooms and meals tax of its own that's not part of the local option tax. And that's, most of the background I know about this. I don't know, actually, I'd have to whip out some real books to find out how far back these provisions go in the charter. I know they predate 1997, which is when we started having electronic records. But beyond that, I think it goes way back.
Okay. So thank you for that insight. And so, I mean, as we've stated a couple of times now, this is like unique to just Rutland and Burlington about having these levers within their charter to do this. But I think just sort of like the general curiosity here was like, so this allows for these dollars to be accrued and spent without, it kind of bypasses the voter budget process.
Yeah, when they're directly in the charter like this, it's going to happen automatically without a vote.
Right. But obviously it's been a long-standing practice, so it's known to the voters. Yeah.
Can you remind me, did the voters vote on these charter changes?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
That's in
Alright.
the vote totals are in the document or in the share folder.
That's the second time I've asked that question today and the second time I got that answer. I apologize.
Okay.
Reaffirms it.
I wasn't here for the first one.
Yes. And I don't think I was here for this first one, so,
Okay, look at us intersecting parts.
yeah.
All right, so. I mean, I guess knowing that this has been a longstanding practice within the mechanism of their charter, it just gives me a little bit more comfort with the unique nature of this structure. Anybody have any questions for Herbie on this?
No, I just feel like if I was a little concerned about the police equipment thing, but it seems like it's something that everyone's used to because it's already existed for the fire equipment and other stuff, so. It seems just more of the same.
Yeah.
Right, nothing out of the ordinary.
It's just like another path to another
Yeah.
department and equipment purchase capability, so.
I would just say that police equipment probably should have that extra zero taken off as a clear, just cleaned up.
Yeah.
I'll let Tucker know about that.
Yeah, we can
But other
talk
than
about
that,
that when we get there. But yes, that's, or at least ask them why that was gonna be consistent that way.
right.
All right, I guess we have nothing else for Kirby. We'll thank him for his time for that
Thank you.
tidbits. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Yeah.
No worries. Do you need me to hang around for anything?
I don't think so, because we're just talking about the redevelopment authority language here, so I don't think it's any relevance to your focus. So,
All right.
no, I think we're good.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Thanks,
All right,
Kirby.
thanks, Kirby. All right, up next, we have Israel and Barbara from the Rutland Redevelopment Authority. How are you two doing? Thank you for joining us.
All right, can you hear us?
There we go. Yeah. Rooted. And so we're just trying to, we're taking a look at the different sections in here and just wanted to get your perspective and insight on the charter change requests that are laid out here. So, I guess I'll just open it up to you to share your perspective on the language changes.
My name is Israel Mack, and I'm a member of the Redevelopment Authority. In fact, I'm the longest serving member, to my knowledge, on the board. I euphemistically refer to myself as the board's dinosaur. During my tenure on the board, there have been a number of very, very qualified members of the Redevelopment Authority board who have, including one or two chairmen who've left the board once they moved out of the city. And we've lost a great deal of talent because of that. This charter amendment allows the mayor some flexibility in terms of appointing a member of the board that does not reside in the city, who may or may not be a significant property owner in the city, but it allows him some flexibility to acknowledge someone who has an interest in the redevelopment authority board and has expertise or major property holdings in the city. We gain a great deal of knowledge as well as acknowledge that individual's expertise. And that pretty much well sums it up. It was approved by the Board of Aldermen, it was approved by the voters of the city of Rutland, and we're now seeking the legislature's approval so that this can go into effect. And if you have any questions, I'm sure that either Barb or I could answer them for you.
So ultimately, what I'm hearing you say is like, this is just allowing for like a bigger pool of people to be able to serve within the structure of this.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, most municipalities are experiencing the same thing where I need people with the time capacity, willingness, and then also when there's criteria for, residency status or what have you, kind of shallows the pool a little bit. So, Representative Hango.
Thank you, and thank you for being here. I have a question about the redevelopment authority and what entity the board is part of. Are you part of the Board of Aldermen? Or are you with a regional development corporation? Who ultimately set up this group?
So the RRA is a municipality of its own, with its own really charter. The connection to the city is that the mayor appoints our board. Appoints our board members, yeah.
Thank
So
you.
we're separate, we're like a component unit. We're considered that for our audit with the city. But we have all of the rights and privileges of a municipality.
Thank you very much.
On its surface, all of this seemed like pretty non-controversial, but we also wanted to ask the questions just to make sure we understood it clearly before we started moving on with it. So, is your board, do you have all the positions on the board filled now?
We do not. It's a 9-member board and we have 8 members at this time. I think we got to 9 for a second, like one meeting, we had actually 9 members. And then the person moved out of town. So, yeah, we're hoping that this would allow for us to reach a wider audience that might be interested in serving.
So I'm looking at page 6. Line 7, it says at the creation of the commission, the appointments may only be denied by a majority vote of the Board of Aldermen. Is that a majority vote of the people who are currently on that board? And if there are only 8, then what happens?
The Board of Aldermen is separate. That's an
Okay.
11-member